John Loss here of Less Archery Adventures. Series testing, successful hunting. Today I'm going to be testing another model of Rage. And you know, these are so popular. I've used them in the field successfully. There's a lot I've liked about the Rage broadheads that I've tested, but there's a lot of things I haven't liked about them too. And this is the one that I've probably been most interested in testing because a lot of hardcore bow hunters have said it's their favorite of all the different Rage models, and that is the Trypan Plus P. So we're going to zoom on in here and check it out and put it to the test in just a little bit. And for all the testing, I'm going to be using my protocol for 2025. For a detailed description of that, please check out the video that I posted earlier this year called 2025 Broadhead Test Process, and it'll describe everything I do, why I do it, how I do it, and so forth. And for all the shooting, I'm using my Elite Archery compound bows. Except for the flight testing, I'm using my Killer Instinct crossbows mounted on a tripod, so I can really make sure that the only thing that's changing is the broadhead itself, and it'll help me see how they fly. And then for all the arrows and bolts, I'm using Bishop stuff, Bishop FOC King, Bishop Fat Eliminator, and Bishop Goat Bolt. Okay, let's zoom on in here and check out this Trypan Plus P and put it to the test. Here's a good look at this broadhead. And man, I've been looking forward to testing this one. Of all the different Rages that I've seen, this is the one that most intrigues me. You know, they have some other ones that are pretty good too, but this is the one that really intrigues me the most. It's their Plus P. It's designed for extra penetration because the cutting diameter is 1.75 inches as opposed to 2 or more. And that's just going to give it extra penetration. But let's start with the materials. It's got a titanium ferrule and tip. This is all just one piece of titanium. Nice sharp tip there, and really sleek tip as well. Really sleek ferrule to maximize penetration. Then the blades are a 420 stainless steel, and they're 0.039 inches thick. So thicker than some of the other models that Rages use, some of the other blades. Decent thickness to them. They're held in place by this collar, this shock collar, and I like this collar for the Trypan. I like it in its simplicity, and it holds the blades really well in place. What I don't like about it is you can't reuse it. You got to use a different shock collar, which you can. They come a bunch in the pack of broadheads, and you can order more online. They're not very expensive. So like I said, it's 1.75 inches in diameter. When it impacts a medium like that, this shock collar is broken through. So on impact, the blades push back and break through that shock collar, and then here they are in the fully open position of 1.75 inches of cut. And again, as long as there's pressure put on the end here, that's what's going to force these blades back like that. That's the slip cam design to it. Really like that design. The overall length of the broadhead is 1.57 inches. So a lot to like about it. I'm eager to see how it performs. The price, it's $16.67 per head, so just almost $17 per broadhead. A little pricey, but if it works well, then it's definitely worth it. For resharpening, I would use the new Stay Sharp Guide model that they have called the Answer. It's called the Answer because it fits a lot of broadheads that they previously did not have a guide to sharpen with, and now they've come up with one that can sharpen all these previously unsharpenable broadheads. Okay, so that's one that fits with this. Really look forward to putting this Plus P to the test and seeing how it performs. The Trypan Plus P drilled the bullseye. It took 197 grams of force to cut through the wire, which is a 10 on a 10-point scale, plus a small proportional bonus for being under the threshold of 200. It penetrated 7 3/4 inches. The blades opened up fully on impact and then remained open throughout the entire penetration. It took an additional 29 grams of force to cut through the wire, which is a 9.42 on a 10-point scale. It penetrated through 49 layers, which is a 7.0 on a 10-point scale. It's in perfect condition after the 3 shots through the MDF. On each of the 2 shots through the steel plate, it didn't quite pass through the steel plate, and it made it a real pain to get these blades out from being lodged in the steel plate there. However, you can see the holes that it did make were decent holes, and the blades, they got a bit shattered. One of them got a bit bent, and then the tip got a little bit blunted. But overall, structurally, it did fine. They didn't break off, and they held in place. I think this is the first time I've been impressed with the durability of a Rage. Okay, this Trypan, man, it exceeded my expectations in the durability department. Even through the steel plate, the blades held together. They didn't break off. They didn't fall out of the ferrule. The ferrule didn't break. They got a little bit of edge chatter there and a little bit of a bend to them. The tip got a little bit blunted, but then even into the cinder block, man, the ferrule and everything held together quite well. A little bit of a wobble to it, but otherwise really impressive durability. Well, what'd you think? Man, okay, I was pleasantly surprised. Finally, a Rage Broadhead that I really like, okay? I've always said I love the slip cam design that they have, but the durability has always been so wanting. But man, this one held up. I don't know, maybe I got a fluke that held up really well, but it held up really well, and it got a very high score. So man, props to Rage for coming up with this one. And you know, maybe it's the right Broadhead for you to use. You check out the score sheet, see how it performed in the areas that matter to you the most, and see if it might be a good fit for your hunting needs. And stay tuned for the overall cumulative score, as well as the corresponding Lusk grade, and a list of all the discount codes that I can offer you just to save you some money. Thanks for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you next time.